have a couple minutes left. I have to ask, you've brought together a lot of different scholars from different denominations. And one of the things we really appreciated, my wife is Catholic, and for years we've been concerned that people have believed that Catholics pray to Mary and worship Mary and don't worship Jesus. And so it was interesting. You created this podcast where you're able to tell more people about what's going on behind the scenes. But you have all these different scholars that are diverse, that have come together. How did you assemble these individuals? And do you think that's key of why you've been able to bring in the different denomination groups?
Yeah, it's interesting. You might be surprised by this answer, but I don't think it was key in connecting the denominations because, as I said earlier, when it comes to the stories of Christ, there's a lot of agreement already.
Huh.
And I want to make it clear, and I think this has been clear in the roundtable discussions that we had. We have a Catholic priest, just to answer your question, we have a Catholic priest, a Messianic Jewish rabbi, and an evangelical scholar. It sounds like the beginning of a joke, I know, but
No,
we gathered those three, and we have them. I have them read the script. Now, I'm an evangelical. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not LDS. I'm not a Messianic Jewish person. I'm an evangelical, and we've made it clear that the show is coming from that perspective. But I wanted to know from Father Guffey, who's a Catholic priest that we brought on. We had some mutual friends. I wanted to know if there were any red flags from some of these denominations that I could avoid unnecessarily, meaning if there's something that I disagree with a Catholic. So for example, real quick, in the portrayal of the birth of Christ that I did in the short film, I show Mary experiencing great pain as she's delivering.
Right.
And there is a segment of the Catholic population that believes that Mary experienced no pain in childbirth,
right,
because they believe that she was sinless. And I passionately do not believe that. So I am going to I've portrayed Mary as having pain in childbirth. And if it comes to a point in time in the show where I disagree with some of my Catholic brothers and sisters about this, I'm not going to change something that I feel strongly about just because a Catholic priest or a Catholic friend of mine disagrees. However, what I don't want to do is offend a large group of people for something that's an extremely minor issue.
right.
So I just want to be aware of any red flags. So, and I do respect Father Guffey's background and his love of Scripture, and I think it is important to hear Bible consulting and Bible expertise from people who come at it from slightly different perspectives. So Rabbi Jason, who's the Messianic Jewish rabbi, is an encyclopedia of Jewish history and Jewish biblical history.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, of course, extraordinarily important for this show. And the show is very much a kind of a love letter to the Jewish roots of our faith. But again, I also have an evangelical scholar because I want his perspective as well. So I do think that's probably contributed to avoiding some of maybe the little things, like Father Guffey can say, this piece right here is going to upset a few Catholics because of X, Y, Z. And there's been times where I've said, yeah, I'm not worried about that. And he said, great, that's up to you. And there's been other times where I've thought, yeah, I can make that tweak. It's not that big of a deal. And there's no reason to distract my Catholic viewers because of this particular thing. So that's been a beautiful thing to see, is how much alignment we do have. And I think also if you watch those roundtables, which are available on our app, and some of them are available on our YouTube page, you'll see I'll ask questions of like Father Guffey and say, listen, I've been told that you guys believe this. Is that accurate? And sometimes it's not accurate. And I think it's good for people, even if they disagree with another denomination or a faith tradition, to at least be accurate in what they think those people believe. And Mary is the key one, Mary, Jesus's mother. And when I portrayed her in episode 5, I said, I wanted to know from Father Guffey. So, from a Catholic perspective, you guys think of Mary maybe differently than evangelicals do. How did I do? Not because I need their approval, but because I do think it's good if Catholics and evangelicals can come to the same page. And if he happened to love episode 5 and Catholics have loved our portrayal of Mary, which is a great bonus. It's not when I write, I'm not seeking the approval of the Catholic Church.
Sure.
But it's certainly nice if we can come to agreement on this thing and worship the same Jesus.